Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Success is looking for a good place to stay. Personal development. See, the major question to ask on the job is not what are you getting. The major question to ask on the job is what are you becoming? See, the big question is not what am I getting paid here. The big question is what am I becoming here? Because true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is contained in what you become.
Can I tell you the truth about motivation? Because I know you're looking for the truth about motivation because you're listening to this episode. And I know you're looking for the kind of motivation that's going to light a fire in your belly and put some rocket fuel in your cereal. The kind of motivation that ultra-marathoners eat for breakfast. I see you, David Goggins. The kind of motivation you need, but you don't often feel. So I want you to know you've come to the right place because however you're feeling today, maybe you found out the budget for your project was yanked, or maybe you're working on a goal forever and it feels like you're never going to get there, or your big dreams are feeling like a gigantic big burden. Maybe you've been stuck for a day, a whole week, or maybe you're feeling so unmotivated. You just feel unmotivated about life in general. Well, you've come to the right place, my friend, because I've got something simple to tell you. The single biggest secret to getting the life you want is understanding 3 words I don't want you to ever forget. Are you ready? Here they are. Motivation is garbage. You've been told a lie. You don't need to feel motivation. You need to understand motivation. If you look up the word motivation, you will learn that motivation is the driving force behind your actions. Now, that's what the dictionary is going to tell you. But I'm going to give you a different definition because it's going to help you understand motivation better. And it's also going to explain why motivation is garbage. So what's my definition of motivation? Simple. Motivation just means you feel like doing something. That's what motivation means. If you have motivation, you feel like doing it. Now, because motivation is a feeling, that means motivation comes and it goes. It blows in and then it blows out. I know you've felt motivated before. You've woken up and had that feeling. You've woken up and felt like, oh, today's the day. I'm going to take Shaun T's hip hop abs class. That's what I'm going to do. Or you've had that feeling of feeling motivated. Today I'm going to tell my mother-in-law that I'm not going to her house for the holidays. I'm hosting holiday dinners at my house because I've wanted to do it for years. Or maybe you felt motivated to replace the donut you normally have with your coffee and make a kelp smoothie instead. But here's the interesting thing. By the time you get out of the shower, your, quote, motivation to change, that feeling of wanting to do it, it is gone. That Shaun T class, it looks insanely hard. And by the way, you haven't seen the inside of a gym since before quarantine. You don't feel motivated anymore. And your mother-in-law, she's probably going to play the victim. So you don't feel motivated anymore.
Fuck end of week. What I mean by that is one of the things that I've seen across the board when we're talking to entrepreneurs and the gym owner community that we have is that the one trait I see over and over again that is clear to the people who are winners, right? The top 1%. I'm not talking top 10%, but the top 1% is the speed with which they execute after making a decision. One of the definitions that we talk about in the community is that the definition of power, as I understand it, is the gap between thoughts becoming reality. And so if you thought about an omnipotent being, right? Someone who has unlimited power as they think that thing would be, right? And so if you were to believe in a creator of some sort, then you might think as that creator thought the universe became, right? And so if you think that as the ultimate scale of power, then the closer we can get to that, the more powerful we become, the more potent we are as entrepreneurs. And so I see this so many times that it's not even this is associated with success. This is what creates success. Because the gap between where you decide something is a good idea and when it actually occurs is the loop with which you can improve your business. And so it's a lot like, I can't remember what the saying was, but it's not like how old the car is, but about how many miles are on it. And what I mean by that is, like, we're young, right? But there's been a lot of iterations that have happened from, when the business first started, when I started my first gym, until now. And I think the key to that is the speed of the OODA loop. And that's just like a military term, like observe, orient, decide, act. And it's just the loop with which that you can basically see what's going on, make a decision, act on it, and then do that whole loop again, right? Because the faster you can pivot and iterate, the more responsive you are as an entrepreneur, the faster you can take advantage of opportunities, the faster you can find out what failures are, and then move on.
Until you learn how to meditate or do something like meditation, you're just helplessly thinking every moment of your life. You're having a conversation with yourself. You're having content, whether it's imagistic or linguistic, pour forth into consciousness every moment, and so incessantly that you don't even notice it. It's just white noise. And not only does it completely color your experience moment to moment. So like if they're angry thoughts, you're angry. If they're depressed thoughts, you're depressed. If they're sad, you're sad. So you become your thoughts, but you also feel identified. You feel that you are the thinker of your thoughts. You feel like a self. And it's completely structured by this flow of mentation every moment. And it produces everything you do. It produces all of your intentions and your goals and your actions. And he said this about me, and now I'm going to say this. I mean, so it's like it's everything coming out of you is born of this same process. And meditation is a way of recognizing that consciousness, I mean, what you are subjectively is this prior condition of just awareness in which everything is showing up, sounds, sensations, and thoughts. And thoughts can become just other objects of consciousness.
As an addiction to distraction is the death of your creative production. You live in a world of overstimulation, trivial pursuit, and endless interruption. I believe you can play with your phone or you can change the world. You don't get to do both. And if you believe in the philosophy we only have one life, then I think it's incredibly wise for you and I to use our hours incredibly well. I think we make the world a brighter place when we do what lights us up, and you can't do what lights you up if you are constantly being interrupted and being on social and looking at videos of people doing the latest dance moves.